Hello everyone and welcome to a new episode of Jank 2.0. Today we're starting an episode in a terrible place. I am currently in the Nether and I have very little stuff on me because I was on a bit of a rescue mission. I was out here collecting some magma blocks and I died and tried to come back to get all my stuff, and this was where all my stuff was. And it's no longer here. Not only have I lost everything, I've also lost 4 shulker boxes worth of magma blocks, which took me over an hour to collect. I guess I'm going to somehow have to make my way back and then re-enchant all my gear, which is frustrating. Okay, that is the last of it. I've got all my gear back. There we go. Lovely. But that little accident has made me think about priorities, because I've been building a lot of farms on the server over the last few weeks. You can see I've got a gunpowder farm now. I've got a sugarcane farm here. I've now finished putting all the villagers in. I haven't zombified them yet, but I have put them all in. And I'm currently building, slowly a bit at a time, a slime farm down here. But what I really need at this point of the game is a gold farm / XP farm. And that's why I was in the Nether trying to collect some magma blocks, which have now disappeared. But yeah, that is the thing I'm missing at the moment, because if I have a gold farm, I have access to golden apples with which I can zombify all my villagers, so the prices are significantly better. I also have an XP farm, which means that I don't have to just do a load of trading to get the XP. I can just AFK at the farm. And I can even add in a piglin bartering system so that I have access to a whole load of resources that I don't really need at the moment, but I will need in the future. And just overall, it's going to mean that if I do end up dying again, which I will, I definitely guarantee that I will, it's going to be much quicker to reset and re-get all of my gear and tools. The first thing I want to do in this episode is actually, I've got some materials ready. Instead of going out to collect a whole load of magma blocks, I'm just going to build a magma block farm. Oh yeah, by the way, I've broken through onto the nether roof and have made a little hole down to the actual nether. So yeah, I'm sure I'm going to need magma blocks in the future, so a lovely little magma block farm is going to do me nicely. Now, okay, here's the basalt deltas. Let's just do a quick time lapse of this farm building, and then we should be at least one step closer to creating our gold farm. Okay, so that is the farm complete, and I've actually left it AFK overnight and have a load of magma blocks to show for it. Now, I did do a bit of an error while building this farm. You see, originally this farm was meant to be built all in the basalt deltas, and the reason for that was so that only magma cubes could spawn on the platform. But if we go into free cam a sec, you can see, okay, right, I'm in my AFK platform so we can see this a bit better. Yeah, there you go. It's spawning a lot of magma cubes. Look at them. So many, but also these piglins here, which are not meant to spawn if this was entirely in the basalt deltas. And the reason why that's important is that, I was saying, this farm isn't just producing magma cream, it's also producing a very, very small amount of zombie flesh and gold ingots. So gold nuggets. Oh, I should say this farm is by Potato Noir. It's not a farm that I've designed, but something I was looking forward to trying out was the new crafter block, which essentially adds auto crafting to Minecraft, and that's in vanilla Minecraft now, which is crazy to think of. So I did have a little setup auto crafting the magma blocks, but that didn't work, because the second a zombie piglin died, it would automatically fill up the crafter, and then basically there was no more crafting happening. So I've kind of gone back to an old system of just collecting magma cream the normal way and then crafting magma blocks. I've now collected about 4 shulker boxes of magma blocks, which is all I need for our farm. So let's go back, and I'm not going to start my gold farm immediately. There's something else I want to do in the meantime, because this series is all about Jank 2.0, this big game that I'm building. And I've not built any of the game yet, which makes sense. I'm building all these starter farms to get us started. But I did want to make a tiny bit of progress on Jank. And I wanted to start off just setting out the outline of where Jank is going to be built. So let's fly over to Jank and start a bit of planning. Okay, I was trying to build this perimeter all the way around to kind of give an indication of the size of Jank 2.0, but I kind of gave up because it was taking way too long, and I realized that it's probably going to be destroyed when I start doing the TNT flyers anyway. So instead, I've made this perimeter up here just to kind of show you the scale of Jank, and this thing is enormous. Look how big this is. It's about 160 blocks by 160 blocks, and that is higher than what it is actually going to be. The actual height of Jank is going to be slightly underground here, just down there, but we are going to have a big lobby here, a very, very big entrance area. So hopefully that gives you a scale of what we're trying to achieve here. And remember, not only are we doing 240 blocks high in the overworld, we're doing the exact same thing in the nether and the exact same thing in the end. So that adds up to, wait, let me get my calculator. Not including the lobby, it's a size of 18,432,000 blocks. That's how big Jank 2.0 is going to be. How big was Jank 1.0? The Jank 1 was 3,136,000. Right. It means that Jank 2.0 is almost 6 times the size of the first Jank. Okay, now that's a lot. Oh no, what have I done? What have I done? Oh dear. Oh, sudden realization of the scale of what I'm trying to achieve here. I'm not entirely sure what the size of Decked Out was. I know it was like wider than Jank. I think it was like 250 blocks across or something like that. I don't know how that compares, but it is 100% larger than Decked Out too. That's definitely sure. So yeah, we've got our work cut out for us. Yeah, in our next episode, I'm going to start hopefully our TNT duping process, clearing the area first step, building up kind of the walls second step, then doing the same in the nether and the end. And in the nether, we're going to have to remove 30,000 blocks of bedrock as well. And then once all the area is cleared, then we can start building our levels. So yeah, this is an enormous project, and it's something that's going to take me a very, very long time to complete. I suspect we're going to be working on this for years. I think that's the scale. I think at least like a few years. But if you are enjoying this and you do want to see the progress on Jank 2.0, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe. I usually do that at the end, but you know, I'm trying to get more subs and trying to reach 2k, you know. So if you haven't subscribed and you are enjoying my videos, just click that subscribe button, please. It helps me out. But that is enough of Jank today. I'm going to fly back home because it's time to build our gold farm. Oh, actually, though, before I go to the nether to start building my farm, it's a good opportunity to talk about mods. Because this is a vanilla survival server. I specifically set it up as vanilla as possible because I want Jank 2.0 to be built entirely in vanilla. However, there's a few small exceptions. There's a few mods that we do have on the server, some of which are for ease of life. Some of them are stuff that we really need for Jank. So for full transparency, I just want to go through the different mods that I'm going to be using throughout this season. So there's only 2 big mods that I'm going to be using for this season. One is the audio, what's it called? It's basically the custom music disc mod, and the chunk loader mod. Now the reason I'm using these 2 is specifically for Jank, to make the Jank experience a bit better. The music disc mod I think is really important. Something that I didn't do so much in Jank 1.0 was to try to create a more atmospheric feel to Jank. I did have like a background music playing, and it really did add to the experience. We played Jank a few times without that kind of background music, and it was a much worse game. And I think that sound design is something that's really important in any kind of game that you make on Minecraft. So I think that mod is going to really help bring the atmosphere out of Jank 2.0. And we're going to be designing, as I said, 9 different levels. and each level is going to have its own sound effects, its own feel, okay? But also it doesn't give me an advantage, you know, it's not something that makes my vanilla experience any easier. So I think that's fair game. The other one is the chunk loader mod, and I'm going to be using it specifically for one thing, which is to load in the areas of Jank when the players aren't there. I did think of a way to make it work. I could have 3 different accounts, one in each dimension, keeping those chunks loaded. So there is a vanilla way of doing this. It's just a bit clunky, and it means that I have to have 3 instances of Minecraft open at the same time, and I need to have 3 different accounts, and it just gets a bit confusing basically. So just for simplicity, for when we're running Jank, and also just for testing as well, it's going to be much simpler. So I am going to be using a chunk loader mod only to load chunks in Jank, not to load any farms, anything like that. Now we do have another few other mods that are more client side mods. We do have the voice chat mod that I'm going to be using to play with people whenever they join to play Jank. I wish I had a mod to stop the rain. Okay, let's go into the Nether. I've got a few other like smaller mods. I've got, for example, this thing here which shows me coordinates, because I can do that by going into F3, but that's really clunky, so this is just a quicker way of doing it. The big one I think is going to be Litematica. For those who've never seen Litematica, let me show you what it looks like. So this is our gold farm, and with Litematica you can load a schematic like this one here. I'm just going to fly up. Oh yeah, we got free cam as well. So it loads up the schematic, and we can then use that as a kind of a template to build. It also gives you lists of material, and the reason I'm using this is it just makes it a bit simpler to build Minecraft builds, especially farms. I don't want to spend like 20 episodes building farms, which I would have to do if I was just building them manually. And also, I'm not the most confident of builders, so sometimes I like to experiment a bit in creative just to kind of get an idea of how a building is going to feel. So to bring it from my creative server, which is a separate thing, into the vanilla server, this is just an easier way to do it. It's something that a lot of content creators use nowadays. It kind of is almost something that nobody ever mentions anymore. I know a lot of people of Hermitcraft use it, but I just wanted to be clear about it. I am using this to kind of just use the schematics, although I'm not going to use easy place mode where you can just right click and it will choose the blocks for you. I am going to place every block manually as if this was normal Minecraft. With that being said, as you can see, I have loaded in our lovely gold farm. So I think it's time to start work on construction in the form of a time lapse. Let's go! Gold farm is complete. Look at this bad boy. The design is by Ilmango. This is a gold farm and an XP farm. It does a bit of both. And this kind of addition here is a design by Newberry77. So go check out their channel as well. What I've also done is I've kind of extended it a bit here at the bottom to give myself a bit more extra storage. And you can see I've AFK'd overnight and I've got, you know, a good quantity of gold. But unfortunately with that, it is the end of this episode. I hope you have enjoyed it, and if you have, please remember to comment, like and subscribe. As I said before, I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. If you do like the channel, just subscribe. It helps me out, it helps you out to kind of be able to follow the channel. And yeah, that's it. So I will see you in the next one.